by Gina Underwood with McGraw Realtors, as well as Home On Stage LLC. Um, in this episode, we'll discuss with Gina a little bit more about her business, hear her vision for the city of Yukon, and connect with her. We appreciate your time today. Thanks so much for joining us, Gina.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so tell me, I know we did a radio show a little while back, and you got to ask me all these questions, and I'd really be curious, tell me how you got your start.
Okay, well, sometimes things that we go through make us jump to something that we never thought we would do. And just, a time that where we're in the valley, that's when we cry out to God and say, God, I need an answer.
Yeah.
And I need you to show me what I'm going to be when I grow up. And so that was really my prayer. I went through a divorce after 27 years of marriage, about 5 years ago, and God has carried me through. I can't say that I grieved perfectly. I don't think there is a perfect way to grieve, but God did take me through that. And, one day I woke up and I was like, okay, I got to figure this out. I'm either going to have to find a man to take care of me. And I did find a man, but I now realize that I have it within myself to be able to, if anything ever happened, we're not guaranteed. If anything ever happened, I have it within me to make it on my own.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing how difficult circumstances lead us to they force changes upon us, and then we have to respond. So as you entered the industry that you're in today, both in your real estate brokerage business as well as your home staging business, tell me what were the practical things that you did to get started there?
The practical things I did to get started in, let's talk about real estate. I've done a lot of research, a lot of training. Anytime, I love being a part of McGraw Realtors because they do provide a lot of training, and it's just kind of we have to have several hours a year for, or within 3 years, CE training. And it's just kind of almost robotic. They offer it on Tuesdays. I show up as much as I can. My business has taken off and gotten very busy, but I enjoy learning, and I feel like I'm really, really doing stuff when I'm sitting in training and learning how to take care of my clients better.
Yeah.
And if I know and I have knowledge of it, I'm able to do what I'm supposed to do and take care of a client.
So what did you learn through that process, especially about home staging? What impact does home staging have on selling a property?
Excuse me. It's amazing, just being able to stage a home. 85% or survey shows, testing shows that a staged home, 85% higher in selling it quicker, more views from the pictures, of course, and you have more showings. And so, that's somebody else guaranteeing it, not me. And
what do you think drives that? Is it like human psychology? We want to see a house with somebody else's furniture in it, or what?
Yeah, a lot of times I show a home, and if it's vacant, people walk in and go, oh, I can't have this house because my couch won't fit in it. And it looks smaller. And so I'm like, wait a second, we at least need to measure. You want to give up this house for your couch, And so you'd be surprised how many people do that. And so when they walk in, they see, a room looks so much smaller, and they see a dresser, a queen size bed. I like to stage my rooms with queen size beds.
Yep.
And then queen to king. If it's a new construction, I like to do king because a lot of, most people in the master bedroom likes a king bed. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you go about, the city of Yukon, what are the things that you've seen? I know your real estate practice extends beyond there, but in the city of Yukon where you live and the office here, we're here at McGraw Realtors office off of Yukon Parkway. What are the things that you're most excited about that you've seen develop?
So I've not been a resident of Yukon very long.
Yeah.
And I just actually a little over a year. But I had friends, and I would pick up friends, take them to church, that lived in Yukon, so I've been familiar with it. And then both my daughters lived in Yukon, so that's what brought me here, my grandbaby. And so my husband always asks, if they move away, are we going to still live in Yukon? And my answer is yes, because I love Yukon. It's got such a small town feel, but everything, down on Main Street on Highway 66 or Main Street, you have all the downtown, the vintage, feel. And then on the other side, you have the newer stuff, Home Goods, TJ Maxx.
Oh, yeah.
All those,
Yeah.
things
Great shops that you can take advantage of.
Yes.
Okay.
So in answer to your question,
yeah.
what do I see? What was it again? Going back, what do I see?
Yeah, well, what are you excited about? Like, is there some development that you've seen? I look at some of the developments that are actually real close to your office here. They're pretty exciting to me, whether it's a new dentist's office or, a new burger joint.
Can we say Neighborhood Jam?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my gosh.
Tell me about it. I haven't been.
Can we just
My wife has been.
Neighborhood Jam? That's all we have to.
Good spot, huh?
Yeah, live here in Yukon and be real close. So it'd probably be too crowded at the first few months, to get in. But yeah, I'm real excited about that. I hear Pub West.
That'd be good. Yeah.
Kava. Are you familiar with Kava?
I'm not. No.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. I first experienced Kava in Dallas, and I was like, why can't we in Oklahoma have this type of food? And it was just all the flavors and everything. We're getting to Yukon.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the challenges? You talk to home buyers every day. What are when they decide not to buy in Yukon, let's say, and they go somewhere else. What feedback do you get? What are some of the challenges?
Well, I'm not able to steer. That's a big deal in real estate. We're not able to say, live in Yukon,
right,
as a realtor for a buyer. Now I can say I live in Yukon and I love it if they're already inquiring about Yukon.
Yeah.
But the challenge is really I don't ever hear anybody saying they don't want to live in Yukon.
Okay, good.
Personally, I've never heard it.
Good.
So yeah.
Well, that's great feedback. Mm-hmm. Excellent. So as you look at the developments, as somebody that's lived here for a little over a year, developments in the next 5-10 years, what's your vision for the city here?
My vision for the city is lots of growth. I'm sorry, that sounds pretty shallow, but with you being in office and Ward 3. I see whenever I interviewed you, I see people like you being in office, being able to make a difference in Yukon and also making the roads better because we are outgrowing ourselves. Don't you believe?
Yeah, we definitely have some challenges, and I think the road surfaces in particular are key focus. I mean, more than 60% of residents say that that's their number one issue. And, I was driving through Yukon this week and saw some line striping going on, and if the roads aren't flat, then the lines can't go down even. So it's a challenge, and we have to encounter those things, as they happen. But I think when I look at the vision for the future of the city, I do think that it's residents that are here that are forward looking, that say we want this to be a great place to live for younger generations, and we're going to do the things today to make that happen. And I think it starts in the heart of Yukon with Main Street, and it extends all the way out to your neighborhood out west, and certainly further south in Yukon.
One of the things that I've really been impressed with whenever I go to a restaurant, how well the managers hire the waiters and waitresses, how friendly they are, and the people in Yukon are so friendly.
Yeah, I think we do have some really good talent, whether it's at a place like Sonic or that has car hops, or if it's at a place like Sonic where they got car hops, or at a sit down restaurant like the Local or the Big Easy or something.
I love the Local.
Really, yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I eat too many meals there.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, good. When you're considering, selling a home, what are the messages that you would have to somebody on the sell side of how they can prepare themselves best for that process?
Well, I have right here, you can see, first I start off with giving them, when they inquire about selling their house, I like to do a virtual CMA report, which means comparative market analysis. A lot of people, they say, what's a CMA? It's comparative market analysis. It's virtual. And so I put that in a box, and different things that I do in marketing and to sell their house quicker, and the outreach that I have on social media. And, if I've listed land, and there's, landlistings.com that, I research different social sites to get there, to broaden the outreach of
It's a
their
different game
property.
today, right? It's not
It
just
really is.
posted on MLS and pray.
Right.
It's
No.
a little bit more sophisticated. Not every agent and realtor is doing that, but
Then I also do reels. I'll put together a reel if, of course I get the, permission from the seller. That goes on continuous until, they sell their house. And so without me even doing anything, once that's out there, people are seeing that.
people are consuming it. And how do you monitor, is it a certain, I don't know how many views it would take to, get somebody to come in and whether they're coming in at an open house, they're coming in with their buyer's agent, or they're contacting you directly if they don't have an agent. How many views do you think it takes to get?
I really don't monitor that. It's kind of like my radio show or what I'm doing here. I put it out there, and then I'm like, okay, I don't want to watch.
Yeah.
So, because
Well,
then
that's
I
good.
would get scared, and I'd be like, that was terrible, and take it off.
Yeah.
So you can't do that. You've got to be a risk taker. You've got to just this is not about me. This is about the property, and selling the person's house, and for the highest and best price.
Yep.
So, and I've had a really good success so far. Within hours, 12 hours after I list it. And I think it's a lot because how I stage the house a lot of times. And that's within my package. When I list a home, you're getting somebody that goes in and most of the time, unless it's, every single room and a bigger square footage, most of the time I put it in with the percentage that I normally list anyway.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
Yeah. That's outstanding. A real value add to, I've left some of my own furniture in place, but I've never had a professional home stager. Walk us through that process for somebody that's a newbie like me. If I go to sell my home, how does the staging process go?
Well, I'll do the virtual CMA. Then I will see what it's like. I let people know, now this is virtual. I need to see it with my eyes. And most of the time, like this last listing that I had, it was about $15,000 cheaper when it wasn't staged and just using their furniture. So, most of my clients, they know what I do, and we trust you, whatever you think. And so I'm very thankful for that, because, if you run into somebody just wanting, you're hiring me because I know what buyers are looking for. And so I've been very thankful for my clients, because they will say, whatever you want to do. So back to your question on what the process is. So I will look at their house. If I can use their furniture, I like to use their furniture.
Yeah.
And if not, if there's too much furniture, then I say, let's get this out of here. Let's get this out of here. Let's declutter. And a lot of times I ask them to declutter as much as they can, get the personal pictures off the wall, get things off the wall that, when somebody walks in, they can't own it for themselves, and they say, oh, the family lives here, and they feel sorry for the family. No, we don't want that. So
no dead bodies in the bedrooms.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's terrible. Right. I was thinking picture, not dead body.
Well, this is a funny story, but
okay, tell it.
Our family moved to a new area, and we had to rent a house because we were building a house, or it was being finished in the neighborhood, and so we didn't have a place to live, and we kind of had to rent a house for a family of, it's that time 6, eventually 7, to finish that house up. And long story short, as a young teenager, we joked about that house was available suddenly because someone had passed.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But
That's, yeah.
and there's always reasons
kind of
why homes become available.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so when you think about somebody that goes down the path with an agent that doesn't include staging in their fee versus your approach, is that a hard sell? It sounds like you're communicating with your potential clients that this is an essential.
Yes, I believe it is. There's some homes though that can, I just sold a home recently. She had a great eye, she didn't need my help. And so, I say, I really don't need to do much other than put a rug underneath here at this dining table or whatever. Yeah. And so it's not always that I come in and go, okay, you need my expertise and get that off, get that out. It's not like that. It's
so what happens if somebody comes in, they love the furniture, they're like, hey, I want it.
And that happened to me, a few houses ago. It's not the recliner couch that, but we made it pretty. We made it pretty. Yeah. You can make it pretty with the rows and pillows and everything. And that house went under contract within 12 hours.
I've toured some apartments where they do the model apartments. They got them all set up, and I just say, I want it this way. Mm-hmm. And they're like, no, yours comes empty.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, no, I want all the art on the wall.
Yeah,
and
it furniture
looks like a hotel
sometimes
room.
negotiable. I'll put that sometimes in the realtor's remarks.
Yeah.
It's kind of easier for me not to have to move. So
That's interesting.
I like buying furniture. I like
That's
buying
fun.
new stuff.
That's fun.
So.
Well, good. Tell our listeners here how they can get in touch with you, best way to reach you for both of your businesses.
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm Gina Underwood with McGraw Realtors, and my number is 405-596-8323, and you can reach me anytime. I would love to show you what I do and how I do it, and get your house on the market quickly and for the highest price. And also, can I do a plug for 96.9 Freedom Station?
For sure, for your radio show. Yeah.
So I'm a founder of Talking Anything Real Estate. It airs every Saturday morning at 8 to 9. There's about 5 minutes of news before. I've had people say, oh, I missed it because there was just news. Hang on just a little bit, about 8 minutes in, and we come on. And I've got co-host Devonna Milan with Stride Mortgage, and she brings a wealth of knowledge with what's going on in the markets right now. So I thought that was very important to have a co-host like that can bring knowledge, because I try to stay in my own lane. Yep. And then I also have Crystal Muir with Real Broker. At first I thought I want to be the only realtor, but I felt like, there's a bunch of real estate out there. There's enough for everybody, and not be greedy, and it brings in a different flavor.
Absolutely.
And I think it's really neat.
And you have great guests on, and I enjoyed my appearance there, and and the questions are engaging. Mm-hmm. I think for anybody that's curious about real estate, that's a must listen.
Right.
And that's Saturday mornings,
8 to 9 a.m.
8 to 9
on 96.9 Freedom Station. It's called Talking Anything Real Estate. If you want to sponsor us, we're looking for some more sponsors, and also if you would like to be a guest on our show, and you can even swing it to kind of like it's real estate, and you think, I don't know if it's real estate, we can always kind of bring it in
sure.
there.
And anybody that's a member of our community likely has some view about real estate. Thank you so much for your time, Gina. This has been wonderful.
Brian, I feel honored.
Great
Thank
to
you
reconnect.
so much.
All right.